Hi everybody, this is Jen from Cookies, Cupcakes, and Cardio.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Transformers cake. Now I've received lots of requests on how to use shaped cake pans. So I'm going to put the two ideas together and make a shaped cake pan with a Transformer design. So the shaped cake pans come with instructions, so I'm going to work through those and I'm going to show you how to do it on your own. Using shaped cake pans is really easy for beginning decorators and beginning cake makers, so this is more of a beginner's tutorial. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial today. So what we're going to need to make our Transformers cake is black icing, gray icing, navy blue icing, light blue icing, white icing, and obviously we're going to be using the Wilton shaped cake pan in the Transformers version. And this is going to be the one and only time I ever tell you, I swear, to use cake batter from a box mix. They just work so much better with these types of pans. I don't know why, but I just suggest to use a regular box mix of any flavor or any color or whatever you want to. They go in really nicely, and this one happens to be the perfect size for this Transformers pan. So before you put your cake mix in, you want to make sure that your pan is liberally sprayed with a non-cooking spray, or you can use butter or margarine. Also, you can put flour in it, whatever you find is the best way for you to grease your pans to get them ready. Now, one of the other reasons why we use a cake mix in this situation is just because it comes out of the cake pan so much easier than regular cakes from scratch do. So this is going to bake for 30 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So once your cake is baked and cooled, the first thing to do is we're going to work on this top part here with our white icing. So this one's fitted with a number 12 tip, but since we're going to be flattening this, you could use any size tip that you want, or you don't even have to use a tip. You can just smooth it on with just a spatula or whatnot. So I'm just going to smooth this out and that part will be finished. I've switched to my number 3 tip with the black icing, and we're going to just outline the side here. So I'm starting at the base of the cake and then there's coming across the top here, and I'm going to repeat that on the other side as well. So I'm just going to show you what to do on this side and then repeat it on the other side. Coming up here and then coming up here. So continuing with our black number 3, I'm going to start down here where our white is, and I'm coming up over the top, just following the groove in the pan, over, and then up slightly and stop. I'm going to repeat that on the other side. So I'm just going to outline my white portion here. So I'm going to start over here, and I'm just going to go around like this, and then I'm going to come down here. And again, I'm following the groove here, meet up with my line there, and then do the same on the other side. If you ever have the break like that just happened, super easy to patch, just go back over it like I did. Now we're continuing with our black to the triangles at the top of his head here, kind of like in this forehead area. Just doing 2 complete triangles, one facing up and one facing down. Going to start working on outlining his face now. So I'm starting from about here underneath his eye and then squeezing, and then right in the center where I want it to stop, I'm just touching my icing down so it grabs, and then I'm going to follow up the same on the other side. Now onto the chin. I'm going to start here going straight up the bottom of his chin, attach my icing, and then come across and down into that divot up here and repeat on the other side. So now for his eyes, I'm going to connect these 2 pieces here, just coming straight across. So when I'm squeezing, I'm just putting steady pressure. And again, if you need to patch, as you can see, it does happen quite a bit. So what you can do now is do the center part for his nose, a diamond here, and then up to here and back over, and then a straight line down through his nose. You can just push it over like that in order to fix your lines if you need to. Can fix them quite easily. And then also down through his mouth portion here. Nice straight line again. So we're finished the outlining. So I'm switching to my light blue, and it has a number 5 tip on it, and this is going to be where we put in the eyes. So it's just a little bit of an angle here, and then it comes across and up over there. Just fill it in, and if you need to smooth it out with a thin spatula, then go ahead and do that afterwards. So I've switched my tip to a small star tip. A 14 or a 15 will do just fine. And I'm just going to squeeze gently and then release and then pull away. So squeeze gently, release, pull away, and I'm going around the eyeballs. So continuing with my small star tip, I'm going to just contour a bit right here with the dark black, and I'm going to start with 2 stars each. And as I work my way down the chin, I'm just going to slowly start squeezing a little bit less, and then I'm going to go to a single star, and that's just going to decrease the chin area here, just like that. Continuing with the contouring with the small tip, I'm just going to start doing small stars along the side here, just squeezing, and then occasionally I'm going to go in 1 star as well, just giving it a little bit more shape to the face part here. In with a couple, continuing down, squeezing gently, and just a small squeeze here for a small star, and then down and across a little bit further there. And the same thing on the other side. So just squeezing small little stars here and going down. Oops, this guy doesn't want to stick. So you just have to squeeze a little bit harder to push it down. Just keep on going down here and add a couple of the little indentations and keep going all the way down to the end of the jawbone here. And a little bit more last contouring with the black over here and here, just squeezing gently and coming down this little piece here and a little bit of a larger squeeze towards the bottom. Our last piece with the black is just a little bit here on the nose, a little bit of a triangle, start there at the tip or at the corner, and then just come out a couple stars each in either direction, just like that. So now we're switching to white and we're going to start highlighting. I'm using a star tip number 18 here. It's a little bit bigger than what we were using with the black, and I'm just going to squeeze my stars along the top here, and then I'm going to follow along our black line like this, and I'm going to repeat the exact same thing on the other side as well. So now continuing with my white, I'm just going to go up and around this black piece here, leaving a gap because we're going to fill that in a bit, and then coming around like this. There we go. And then I'm moving over to the other side, and I'm just going to come straight down this line here all the way to the end where the black is. Now we're moving over to this part above the eye and doing a couple of white highlights here, and then I'm moving right up to the top here, and I'm just going to fill in a little bit of this area, come down there, and then fill in here just like this, giving it a little bit of shading and whatnot and highlighting there on that side. Moving to the forehead, we're just going to squeeze a little bit here, go into the peak, and then come back down this side of the triangle all the way to the corner. And then we're only going to highlight this side here on the bottom, just like that. Now we're moving into the mouth area, so I'm starting right in the center and following my black guidelines here, and I'm going all the way up into the corner, and then I'm going to follow it down here, like down into here, all the way along to the bottom. Moving into the nose area, just squeezing a little bit in here, making a little triangle like that, and then we're going to come down in this area as well and fill in a little bit more, and I'm going to back right up against that guideline there. You don't want to squeeze so much that you go over top of it so that you can still see it a little bit. And then I'm coming over here to do the same thing, right against the guideline there, and then a little bit more wide out at the top, just like that. So now I'm moving over to the left-hand side of the cake, and I'm just going to start highlighting along these little pieces here that kind of bump out, just like this, and I'm just going to follow them all down all the way to the bottom of the cake. Our last piece of highlighting comes over here, so we're just going to come across a little bit and then come down in between our guideline and our little bit of contouring there. So now we're done basically all of our outlining, and now it's time to do the fill-in portion. So what I'm going to do now is I switch to a larger tip, and I'm going to fill in every little piece along the bottom with the gray. So I'm just squeezing and then moving up. And what you want to make sure that you're doing is you don't want to adjust your tip. You just want to keep it in the same location throughout. You just want to move it with you, but you don't want to rotate it at all, because what that does is it makes uniform stars here. So then your cake looks a little bit cleaner. You can't tell like a huge amount, but it is a little bit of advice when you're making these types of star covered cakes. So I'm going to fill in everything along the bottom underneath the eyes with the gray. My gray portion is filled in, so now I'm switching to my navy blue, and it's fitted with my 21 tip, and I'm just going to fill in all of the extra spaces that are left. When I've got everything filled in, I'll be back to show you the finished product. So there you go, everybody, how to make a Transformers cake. I hope you enjoyed learning how to use a shaped cake pan today. Thank you for all of the requests to do so. This was a fun project to put together for you. Remember to subscribe to the channel and give that thumbs up button a click if you enjoyed what you saw today. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all again next time.